Adjustable dumbbells I recommend will be down in the description. They go all the way from 3 to 24 total pounds. Let's go ahead and begin. I have a list of a bunch of different dumbbell exercises that you can do from home or at the gym. We're just going to rifle through these. If you have any questions on the forum, leave them below. This is going to be pretty quick, and we'll just give you some ideas of stuff to do in the gym. So the first one I have is just squats. We're going to do squats where you start with them at your shoulders. This is simple squat, so bending knees and hips at the same time, keeping your chest up as much as you can. You can also bring these down and kind of hold them like here. Same concept. You could do one also as well, but just holding them up on your shoulders will give a little extra resistance. Rows, that's going to involve you bending at your hip. So you're bending over at your hip, keeping your back nice and straight. I'm at about a 45-degree angle. You can go a little bit lower, but right about there is good. And then you're going to pinch your shoulder blades, bringing those dumbbells up towards your rib cage, slowly down. We're trying to control it the entire time. Make sure you're not slowly sitting up, so then it turns into a high row. We'll show that in a second. Keeping your back angle the same time as you do that movement. Okay, so speaking of high rows, this one's you're gonna have your feet about hip width apart, knees slightly bent or locked. It actually really doesn't matter. I like slightly bent. And then you're simply going to drive your elbows up to the side, bringing those dumbbells about up to your nipple line, slowly back down. The higher you go, this is going to take more shoulder mobility. So some of you who have shoulder pain might only be able to go up to your belly button. That's okay. Go as high as you comfortably can without pain. My shoulder mobility is pretty good, so I can come up all the way here, and I don't really have much pain. Also, the heavier the dumbbells you go, that can potentially aggravate pain as well. That's high rows. Deadlifts, our next one. So your feet are going to be hip width apart, and then from here you're going to hinge at the hips. This means bending at your hips. Your knees are only going to be slightly bent. After that, your knees aren't going to bend anymore. It's just going to come from your hips, okay? Dumbbells are going to ride down the front of your body. Notice I'm pushing my butt backwards, coming all the way down to my shins, and then squeezing my butt as I come all the way up to the top. This is what we call an RDL, a normal conventional deadlift, or just a regular deadlift. The weights would start on the ground, and then I would pick them up and then bring them back to the ground. The RDL in this position, just going down and then up. All right. Next one, overhead press. This one will take a decent amount of shoulder mobility, so make sure you're okay with that. If you don't have decent shoulder mobility, wait until I show you the bench floor press. That one will be better for you. This one, you're just going to come up to your shoulders. You can have the dumbbells kind of facing out, so palms out, or you can do neutral grip. This one's a little easier on the shoulders. And then you're going to extend your elbows, keeping your core nice and straight. Notice I'm not bending backwards. I'm trying to keep my tummy nice and straight, keeping those dumbbells over midline. This is the overhead press. This will work your shoulders, triceps, and a little bit of your grip strength, just because you got to grip these dumbbells, but mainly an upper body, shoulder, and tricep exercise. Next one, front raise. This one, arms are going to be nice and straight. Then you're simply going to lever them out in front of you, slowly down. This is a isolation exercise, mainly targeting your anterior deltoid or the front of your shoulders, coming up and down, nice and controlled. I wouldn't recommend doing those a lot, because a lot of the chest pressing and overhead pressing will work those specific movements pretty heavily. Next one's going to be lateral raise. This will work the side deltoids or medial deltoids. Both dumbbells will start together. I like doing a slight lean forward just because it feels more comfortable. And then you're going to keep your arms as straight as you can, trying to bring those dumbbells out to the side to about a T position or a cross position. You can bend your elbows, and you'll be able to kind of do this a little bit easier. It'll basically decrease the overall moment arm of the work on the medial deltoid. Long story short, it's easier if you bend your elbows. It'll be harder if you keep your arms straight in this position. So I'd recommend doing a really light weight, starting out getting that good form, and then over time, if you want to kind of overload a little more, you could bend your elbows to get a little more weight, a little more up. Rear delt flies. So this one's going to have you bending over like you're doing a bent over row. And then from there, you're still going to lock your back position. You're going to keep your back nice and straight. You're going to keep your hips in that same position, so we're not going to be standing up. And then all you're going to do is focus on pinching your shoulder blades and keeping those arms nice and straight in this position. So notice my back is staying bent over the whole time. I'm literally thinking about pinching my shoulder blades. Very tough exercise. You'll need a very small amount of weight to actually do that one. Next one is floor dumbbell press. If you have a bench press, you'll be able to do this, but I'm just showing you exercises if you just have dumbbells and no equipment at all. So floor press, very similar to bench, except your elbows won't be able to go down. So you're going to press up, come down, press up and down. This one's really nice because it's basically impossible to mess up. The only thing to just be careful of is that the weights aren't too heavy, where if you accidentally need to let them go, they won't go inward and you can just dump them outward to your side like this. So make sure the weight's not too heavy, or if you are going heavy, you feel comfortable and have weights that when you drop them, they are not going to get damaged or damage your floor. Okay, so the clean. So this one, we're going to show you a regular clean and a hang clean. So a clean is an Olympic weightlifting movement that works your power. We're going to do it with dumbbells. It's a little different, a little awkward with dumbbells, which is why I actually like it, because it's kind of just a fun exercise. So you're going to start with both dumbbells on the ground and then a normal clean. All you're going to do is bring them up, and then you're going to kind of do a curl and then land in a half squat position. So I'm going to do it fast. This is how it normally goes. Up, jump, land, from the side, up, jump, land. So that's kind of the main concept. You're going fast. You're basically doing a very fast bicep curl, ending it on your shoulders, landing in that power position. You can also do this from the hang, which means they'll start at your side instead. Same concept. Jump, land at the shoulders. Jump, land at the shoulders. In addition to this, you can do a regular clean or a hang clean and do a press. So you can start with it on the ground, come up, and then you can do like a push press coming up to the top. And then from there, you can also do a hang, same thing, go like that, boom, and then go up into a push press. You can go directly into it. So you can go boom, land directly up into it. That's a clean and push press. Speaking of push press, I did overhead press earlier. We'll show you push press. Push press is when you use your legs a little more. So overhead press we did earlier is just strict. There's no leg movement. Push press, you're going to bend your knees a little bit, unbend your knees, kind of do a mini calf raise, and then with that momentum from your legs, you can actually push more weight up overhead. So this is how it'll look, nice and easy, boom. I can't go too far overhead because I don't have that much overhead space here. From the side, up. Normally you want to lock your arms out, but hopefully you get the gist with demonstration purposes. Let's keep moving on here. Clean and press snatch. Okay, so we'll do a single dumbbell snatch to begin. This one, it's going to start with it on the ground, and then all you're going to do, one foul motion, come up, land in a power position, then extend your knees. So this is going to be quick once again. Boom. It's all one movement. Do this with maybe no weight at first, so you can start with it on the ground. Boom, just work that overall pattern. And then with time, you can actually get comfortable and maybe do two at once, okay? Do two at once. Make sure you start with a really light weight with this and then build over time. Again, I literally just did it with my hand, and that's a great place to start for a lot of people, especially if you're older, or have shoulder pain, etc. It's a really good movement to work your explosive power. You can do this from the hang, just like the dumbbell clean and jerk we just did. So same concept, you're just pulling up, landing, and then double dumbbell. We already showed that. We'll keep moving on. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Go ahead, drop a like, share this with somebody who would appreciate this as well. Snatch, curls and skull crushers. Okay, bicep curls, give you a few variations here. The first one's just gonna be a normal curl. For all these, start with your elbows pinned to the side. Okay, so your elbows aren't gonna move, as in they're not gonna move forward and backward. They're just going to bend. So pin to the side. First one, you're just going to supinate or bring your palms up and then come back to the suitcase carry. So suitcase carry to start, palms up. That's the first one. The next one's going to be palms down the entire time. This is going to work your wrist extensor muscles a little more, so this will be a harder variation. Next one's going to be supinated the entire time, so your palms will be up the entire time. You can also do kind of like a weird starting in a wrist curl, going up in a wrist curl, and then kind of supinating out, going back down. Lots of variations. You can also do just neutral grip too, to where you are in that suitcase position the entire time. That's bicep curls, a bunch of variations you can try out there. Skull crushers, let's do this. All right, so going to start with both dumbbells straight up overhead. Again, if you're on a bench, this will be a little bit easier, but I'm literally just thinking about bending my elbows here, not moving my shoulders, not using momentum, literally just focusing on my elbows here. Elbows, elbows, elbows. That's what I'm telling myself. Bend and extend, bend and extend. Just working those elbows. Those are like a good place to start if you have any elbow tendonitis, because a lot of times people, when they do full skull crushers on a bench, they get a really deep range of motion and they don't have the connective tissue strength yet. and their triceps to actually do that exercise pain-free. I used to do them on a bench all the time, and when I first started out, I didn't have the strength of my elbows to actually do it, so I was always in pain. I started out with these, built into doing full range of motions on the bench, and I'm feeling a lot better. All right, so let's do some wrist exercises. Wrist curls will be the first one. You're gonna act like you're gonna be doing a biceps curl. And actually, we'll show you another biceps curl exercise first. So by another biceps curl one, you can kind of move your elbows in like this and then kind of lean back. So you're already getting kind of a stretch position on those biceps. And then from here, it's almost like a self preacher curl machine. If you've ever done the preacher curl machine, that really light stretch at the end tells you you're completing a full range of motion, coming up all the way. You won't be able to do that much weight with that. But great exercise nonetheless. We'll start in the same position for those wrist curls, and then this one, you're literally just letting your fingers kind of come out. You're opening your palms, and then you're curling your wrist, curling your fingers, coming up, down. Very small movement, but great for people who have arthritis. Or like me, I work on my computer a lot, so I need my wrist and fingers to be strong. Exact same exercise, but the other way. This is wrist extensions. Same kind of concept. So you'll be either coming from the side like this and then just bringing your palms up, still gripping the dumbbell. You can kind of have them in front, like a front raise a little bit too. That'll make it a little bit more of a shoulder exercise, but also make it harder on your wrists as well. And just crank them out. Your wrist will thank you and you'll be feeling super, super good. Lunges, split squats. So we got a bunch of lower body stuff next. So lunges, you can start with them to your side. And then this one, I like to simplify the lunge, taking a big step forward, bending your front knee and back knee. So ideally they get close to a 90-degree angle on your front and back knee, pushing through that front leg. You can do these alternating. You can do them where you're just holding tight. This would be called a split squat, where you're just holding that front position, just hammering it home. You can bring those dumbbells up to your shoulders like we were doing at the beginning of the workout with those squats. That's a good variation. From here, you can even do a ATG split squat. So this one's gonna have you really, really focus on your knees here. This one I would recommend if you're starting out as a beginner. I have a few videos showing you different variations of how to make this easier, but actually find a couch or something to put your leg up on. I'm gonna show you the advanced version. No warm up here, so we'll see how this goes. But dumbbells are gonna be to the side. You're going to go all the way forward. Let's see if I can nail this. All the way forward, keeping that back knee off the ground and then coming up. That's really going to work your overall knee strength. Again, I have lots of videos on my channel showing that exact exercise and some regressions. It's on some of my knee pain videos, so you can check those out. In addition to that, let's see here. Oh, Cossack squats. So Cossack squats, we'll start right here. This one's actually a really good warm up. So you're gonna kind of go into a large sumo position. Then you're going to reach towards the side, all the way down as far as you can, back and forth here. Nice and controlled. The more you do this, the more you'll notice you'll be able to go lower and lower. If you want to hold these at your chest, you can do that. Also, you can do Cossack squats not holding on to anything, and that will probably work too. So hopefully you enjoyed these. Do spin-offs of all of them. You can kind of find what works, find what doesn't. If one causes pain, you can always take off weight or do a slightly less range of motion. So many different options that you can do. This is with 2 dumbbells. And if you want another exercise to show you how you can do basically all these same things, but with 1 dumbbell, I'm going to link that right here to give you a few more options as well. So share this with others. Thank you for watching.